Hello, my name is Joan Patterson. I live in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Well, I used to live there. Now I'm somewhere a little different. It was March 2020. The scent of hand sanitizer had seeped into every corner of the house. My daughter-in-law, Jennifer, had sprayed it everywhere, from the front door to the bathroom, on every doorknob. The television announced Pennsylvania's first death, and the governor declared a lockdown. I could hear the world stopping. I taught elementary school for over 40 years. I taught spelling and multiplication tables and broke up fights during lunch. After retirement, I lived quietly in a small room on the second floor of my son Mike's house, spending my days listening to the voices of my grandchildren, Tyler and Emma. The neighbors called me a sweet grandmother, the kind who occasionally baked things to share and never missed church volunteering. But nobody knew that I was a partner in Keystone Mining Corporation, 30% ownership, and I had quietly added my name to two other small companies as well. I didn't need to show off the money. I was just waiting for the right moment. That afternoon, Jennifer walked into the kitchen, mask hanging on her chin, arms crossed. Her eyes were cold as always. "Joan, you need to leave. I run this house." Mike's hands stopped washing dishes at the sink. He didn't turn his head. Just the sound of running water continued. I nodded slowly. "All right, not right now, but this week. Everyone's anxious because of the virus. The elderly need to be extra careful." I saw the cloth mask folded next to my purse. My fingertips trembled slightly. Not from anger, just because I heard something I'd held back for so long finally cracking. "Mom," Mike murmured quietly, "I think you should do what Jennifer says." I didn't answer. Instead, I went upstairs and pulled out a small suitcase, a 30-year-old gray bag. I packed a few clothes, one photo album, and an old leather file case. When I passed the children's room, Tyler looked up from his homework. "Grandma, where are you going?" "I'll be back soon, Tyler." "When?" I tried to smile. "Soon." At the front door, tying my shoes, Jennifer stood with her arms crossed. Mike sat at the edge of the sofa in the corner of the living room, staring at his phone. He said nothing. When I opened the door, the cold March wind hit my face. The street was empty. Under the streetlight, someone's discarded mask rolled in the wind. Only the sound of my suitcase wheels rolling on the sidewalk. As I walked, I thought, Jennifer is Keystone's operations manager. Competent, meticulous, and cold. But she doesn't know that one of the invisible owners of the company she reports to every month is me. Now, the time had come. The time I'd endured out of love was over, and the moment to reclaim my dignity had arrived. I would prepare slowly, very slowly. Winter was passing, but inside me, spring was coming. The place I stayed was a small apartment at the edge of downtown. One bedroom, $850 a month. Through the window, I could see the parking lot and an empty playground. Because of COVID, even the swings were taped off. The first week was quiet. I got one text from my grandchildren. It was Tyler. "Are you okay, Grandma?" I replied. "I'm fine." Nothing came after that. Sitting at the kitchen table, I opened the file case I'd brought. 12 years of documents, Keystone Mining's quarterly reports, audit summaries, and notes I'd collected separately. Investors usually only look at the big picture. But I was a teacher. I had a habit of not missing details. Starting in the third quarter of 2018, strange patterns began to appear. External consulting costs spiked from $80,000 per quarter to $230,000. When I requested copies of the contracts, the company name was unfamiliar. Martinez Operational Solutions, LLC, Jennifer's last name. I opened Pennsylvania's business registration website. My fingers moved slowly across the keyboard. Search results appeared. Registration date February 2018. Representative Jennifer Martinez. The address was our house. I exhaled slowly. I wasn't angry. It just felt like puzzle pieces falling into place. The next day, I emailed Dr. Robert Mitchell. He's the CEO of Keystone, a child I taught 30 years ago. Now he's a geology PhD running the company, but he still calls me Mrs. Patterson. Subject request for quiet review. I kept the message short. Robert, I'd like to review some contracts with you. Not urgent, but important. The reply came in 2 hours. Anytime convenient for you. Should we do a video call? I shook my head. A screen wouldn't be enough. I'll come to the office. Is next Monday okay? Of course. Over the weekend, I organized the evidence. I looked through the corporate card statements again. Half of the expenses under Jennifer's name were legitimate. Business trips, equipment purchases, staff dinners. But the rest were questionable. Upscale restaurants, spa packages, even furniture store receipts. They were marked as business expenses, but many were on weekends. Sunday night, Mike called. It had been 3 weeks. Mom, how are you? I'm fine. How about you? Me too. Tyler and Emma say they miss you. I looked out the window. The playground streetlight was flickering. I miss them too. Want to come over this weekend? Jennifer said. It's okay. His voice was cautious. I knew how uncomfortable he was, caught in the middle. But now, not yet. Maybe next time. I still have some things to sort out. All right. After hanging up, I spread the documents on the table again. I had to separate emotion from evidence. This wasn't about resentment toward my daughter-in-law. It was about responsibility to the company. Monday morning, I stood in front of Keystone headquarters, a 3-story brick building. The parking lot was sparse with cars. Because of the lockdown, many were working from home. In the lobby, I adjusted my mask. The receptionist took my temperature and checked the list. Ms. Patterson, 3rd floor. The elevator was empty. I saw my reflection in the mirror. Gray coat, worn handbag, white hair. I looked like a 72-year-old grandmother. But the briefcase in my hand was heavy. Dr. Mitchell opened the door. Mrs. Patterson, it's been a while. Indeed, Robert. The conference room was small and quiet. Through the window, the Philadelphia skyline was visible, hazy. He offered coffee, but I shook my head. Let's start right away. I spread out the documents. Consulting contracts, corporate card statements, business registration copies. I explained one by one. My voice didn't waver, a habit honed from 40 years at the front of a classroom. Jennifer created this company 2 months before contracting with Keystone. The service descriptions are vague, and the invoices are overcharged. Dr. Mitchell's expression hardened. We'll need to verify this. Please look at the corporate card issues too. They're marked as business expenses, but the pattern is strange. He studied the documents for a long time, pointing at numbers with his finger, calculating. Then he sighed. Mrs. Patterson, this is serious. I know. Jennifer is our key personnel. She manages the entire operation. That's what makes it worse, I said quietly, because she exploited that trust. He looked up. What do you want to do? I hesitated for a moment. She was family, my son's wife, my grandchildren's mother. But at the same time, she was someone who betrayed the company. Start an internal audit, quietly. And when the evidence is solid, let me talk to her directly. When? Within 2 weeks, Dr. Mitchell nodded. Understood. I'll be in touch. As I left the building, I sat on a bench at the edge of the parking lot. The March wind was cold. The sky was gray, and the street was still quiet. I took out my phone and texted Tyler. Grandma's doing well. Thinking of you both. The reply came quickly. We miss you too, Grandma. Love you. I felt like crying, but I held it back. This wasn't a choice between love and justice. It was about finding a way to protect both. Back home, I sat at the table again. Now all that remained was waiting. For the evidence to pile up, for the truth to be revealed, for the door to finally open. 2 weeks passed. An email came from Dr. Mitchell. The subject line was simple, "We're ready." But before that, small ripples began to form. The first was on Tuesday. I officially added my name to Keystone's board roster. I'd been a silent partner for 12 years, but now it was different. I expressed my intention to attend quarterly meetings. On paper, it was my right. That evening, Mike called. Mom, what's going on? What do you mean, Jennifer? Heard something strange at the company. That you put your name on the board. I looked out the window. The playground streetlight was flickering again. It's true. What are you talking about? How are you connected to Keystone? I've been a partner since 12 years ago. 30% ownership. Only breathing came through the phone. A long silence flowed. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't need to. Jennifer is in a panic right now. Why are you doing this suddenly? I answered slowly. It's not sudden, Mike. I've been preparing for a long time. The call ended. I put down the phone and made a cup of tea. My hands weren't shaking. I'd expected this reaction. The second ripple came on Thursday. Dr. Mitchell announced an internal audit schedule. All employees 2-week duration. The stated purpose was COVID-era budget review, but in reality, it was focused on examining Jennifer's contracts and expenses. Friday afternoon, Jennifer called me directly. The first time in 12 years. Joan? Her voice was sharp. The usual coldness was gone, replaced by tension. Hello, Jennifer. What are you trying to do? What do you mean? The board registration, the audit schedule, it's all because of you. Why are you doing this? I walked to the window. A car was pulling into the parking lot. A young woman in a mask got out holding a child's hand. I'm just exercising my rights. Rights? You never came to a meeting for 12 years, and now suddenly? I felt it was time to come now. I know it's because of me. I don't know what you're suspecting, but it's not suspicion. My voice was low but firm. It's confirmation. A harsh breath came through the phone. What did you confirm? You'll find out soon. I hung up. My hand trembled slightly. But I had no regrets. That night, I couldn't sleep. Staring at the ceiling, I thought, what is family? Is it blood or is it trust? Jennifer had been my daughter-in-law for 12 years. We'd sat together at Thanksgiving tables, celebrated my grandchildren's birthdays together. But she didn't respect me. Not because of my age, not because of our relationship. Just as a person. Monday morning, Dr. Mitchell sent a text. 2 p.m. conference room B. Be ready. I put on a gray blouse and black pants. Looking in the mirror, I thought I saw my teacher self. Neat, calm, unshakable. When I arrived at the Keystone building, the parking lot was half empty. Remote work was still common. I had my temperature taken in the lobby and got on the elevator. The third-floor hallway was quiet. I stood in front of the conference room door. About to grab the handle, I heard voices inside. It was Jennifer. This is ridiculous, doctor. Why would I do such a thing? We have evidence, Ms. Martinez. Evidence? Who made it? That old woman. I knocked on the door 3 times, slowly. The inside went quiet. Doctor. Mitchell opened the door. Mrs. Patterson, please come in. The conference room was small. Oval table, 6 chairs. Jennifer stood by the window, arms crossed, glaring at me. Her eyes were red and bloodshot. I sat on the opposite side of the table, put down my briefcase and slowly unzipped it. Dr. Mitchell sat next to me. Shall we begin? I nodded. Jennifer spoke first. Joan, what is this? Why are you doing this? Sit down, Jennifer. I don't want to sit. Explain first. Dr. Mitchell opened a file. Ms. Martinez, these are the audit results from the past 2 weeks. Issues with contracts with Martinez Operational Solutions. Corporate card expense details and several invoice problems have been confirmed. Jennifer's face went pale. Those were legitimate business expenses. Creating a business company under your personal name and contracting with Keystone is a conflict of interest. Dr. Mitchell's voice was gentle but firm. The corporate card spending is the same. Claiming weekend restaurant cost as business expenses violates regulations. Who dug into this? Jennifer looked at me. Was it you, Mom? I took my materials out of the briefcase. 12 years of reports, notes, receipt copies. I placed them on the table one by one. I've been watching this company for 12 years. Quietly. But I wasn't not watching. Jennifer pulled out a chair and sat down hard. This is revenge. Because you kicked me out of the house. It's not revenge. I looked her straight in the eyes. It's accountability. Accountability? You didn't do anything for 12 years. You never came to a meeting, never made a phone call, and suddenly you show up and do this? Her voice trembled. Anger and fear mixed together. I breathed in slowly. I stayed quiet because of trust. I trusted this company and I trusted you. But you exploited that trust. Exploited? You used company money for personal purposes. You manipulated contracts. And you pushed me out of the house. Jennifer bit her lip. She couldn't answer. Doctor. Mitchell interjected. Ms. Martinez, you have choices. Resign and agree to restitution, or go through legal proceedings. The conference room fell silent. Outside the window, Philadelphia's gray sky was visible. Only someone's breathing could be heard. I looked at Jennifer. Tears were pooling in her eyes, but I didn't waver. This wasn't about emotion. It was about principle. Decide, Jennifer. She lowered her head. Jennifer kept her head down for a long time. Her shoulders trembled slightly. I couldn't tell if she was crying or holding back anger. Doctor. Mitchell placed a glass of water in front of her. The plastic cup hitting the table sounded unusually loud. I'll give you time, but I need an answer today. Jennifer raised her head. Her eyes were red, but no tears fell. Instead, she looked straight at me. Why, Joan? Why what? Why now? After 12 years of not saying a word, I placed my hands on my lap. Let me ask you something. Why did you push me out of the house? It was because of the virus. The elderly are at risk. That's a lie. My voice lowered. Tell me the real reason. Jennifer bit her lip. She tried to look away, but eventually looked back at me. You made me uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? Yes, you were always at home, interfering with the kids' education, telling me how to do things. I wanted to run my family my way. I nodded slowly. So you kicked me out. I didn't kick you out. I just wanted us to be apart for a while. Did you think I wasn't interested in this company for 12 years? Jennifer couldn't answer. You joined Keystone in 2016. I've been watching you since then. You were competent, meticulous, responsible too. That's why I trusted you. And you changed starting in 2018. You created a consulting company, won contracts. Corporate card spending increased too. At first, I thought it was business expansion. But it wasn't. My finger pointed to a document. I picked up a receipt. This is from last November, Saturday, an upscale restaurant charge. Marked as business, but that day was Tyler's birthday. It was a family dinner. Jennifer's face went white. This too. I spread out another document. Spa package, won $200. You wrote it as employee benefits, but the reservation was only your name. That was, and this? I pushed the contract forward. Martinez Operational Solutions. You received $70,000 per quarter. The service description just says operational consulting. No specific reports. $840,000 over 12 months. Doctor. Mitchell interjected. According to the internal audit, we couldn't verify the actual service content. Only invoices exist, no deliverables. Jennifer slammed the table. There were deliverables. I improved operational processes. I cut costs too. That's your main job, I said quietly. That's what you're paid a salary for. It's not something you should create a separate company and bill for. Everyone does it. That's how the consulting market works. It's a conflict of interest, Jennifer. And you know it? That it violates regulations. She pushed back her chair and stood up, walked to the window and turned her back. Her shoulders rose and fell. Do you know how hard my life has been? Tell me. I got here on my own. Without my parents' help, I got through college on scholarships, worked day and night. When I met Mike, I had $50,000 in debt, student loans. Her voice trembled. After marriage, having kids, I kept working. I got promoted, had to earn more, had to buy a house, save for the kids' education. But you lived at home for free, without any burden. I exhaled slowly. So you stole from me? I didn't steal. Then what? Jennifer turned around. Her face was contorted. I borrowed it. I was gonna pay it back later. How? I don't know. I was going to find a way, but suddenly you showed up. I've been here for 12 years. I stood up. You just didn't see me. Just like you ignored me, I watched you. And I waited for you to stop on your own. Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Would you have stopped if I had? Jennifer couldn't answer. Dr. Mitchell stood up. Ms. Martinez, please decide. Resignation and restitution agreement or legal proceedings. How much? The wrongful charges over the past 3 years, plus personal use of the corporate card totals approximately $320,000. Installment restitution is possible, but you must resign immediately. Jennifer collapsed into the chair, covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook. This time she was really crying. I went next to her, didn't sit, just stood looking down at her. Jennifer? She lowered her hands. Tears streamed down her face. You're a capable person, really. But greed ruined you, and you disrespected me. You thought I was just an old mother-in-law, a useless old woman. But I'm a person who deserves respect. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. What you stole wasn't just money. It was trust. Family trust, company trust. Jennifer bowed her head. Dr. Mitchell held out documents. A resignation letter and restitution agreement. If you sign, there won't be legal issues. But it will be difficult to work in this industry again. Jennifer picked up the pen. Her hand trembled. It took her a long time to write her name on the signature line. Crooked handwriting. After signing, she put down the pen and looked at me. What are you gonna tell Mike? I hesitated for a moment. The truth. What about the kids? That's something you need to explain. Jennifer stood up, walked to the door as if stumbling, grabbed the handle and stopped. Joan. Yes, I'm really sorry. I didn't answer. She opened the door and left. I could hear her footsteps disappearing down the hallway. Only Dr. Mitchell and I remained in the conference room. Outside the window, clouds moved slowly. That was hard for you, Mrs. Patterson. I'm okay. Family matters are always difficult. I walked to the window. I could see the Philadelphia streets below. Cars moving slowly, people walking in masks. Robert. Yes. Did I do the right thing? He stood next to me. The right thing and the easy thing are different. You did the right thing, ma'am. I nodded. My heart was heavy, but I had no regrets. Now it was time to go home. A month passed after that day. Jennifer left the house. Mike said he helped her pack. The townhouse went on the market, and divorce papers were in process. It was a quick and quiet ending. Mike called me 3 times. The first was Tuesday night. Mom, why did you do it? His voice trembled. I couldn't tell if he was angry or sad. I had to tell the truth, Mike. After 12 years of saying nothing, suddenly doing this. What am I supposed to do? I looked out the window. April rain was falling. The apartment parking lot streetlight was blurred by raindrops. You have to choose between truth and comfort. What does that? What Jennifer did was wrong. Disrespecting me, stealing company money. If you ignore it, the children will learn that lies are comfortable. A sigh came through the phone. You're struggling too, aren't you, Mom? Of course. Then why did you do it? I thought for a moment. Because of dignity. And because of Tyler and Emma. The second call was Friday afternoon. It was Tyler. Grandma, Mom moved out. I know. Why? Did she fight with Dad? There was a problem between the adults. Is it because of you, Grandma? My heart stung, but I couldn't lie. Partly, yes, but not entirely. Are you coming back to our house? I don't know, Tyler. I'll think about it slowly. I miss you, Grandma. I felt like crying, but I held it back. I miss you too. The third call was a week later. It was Mike. This time his voice was different, quiet and calm. Mom, Jennifer told me everything. What? The company stuff, the money, all of it. At first, she made excuses, but eventually she admitted it. I made a cup of tea, held the phone against my shoulder, and poured water. How do you feel? Betrayed. By Jennifer and by myself. Why by yourself? I should have known. There were signs. Overspending, secretive phone calls, stress. But I pretended not to notice. You took the easy path, yes, and I turned away from you. At the most important moment, I sat by the window. Raindrops ran down the glass. Mike, you're a good son, but kindness and courage are different things. I know that now. It's not too late. He was silent for a while, then said, Mom, can we start over? Us. We can. But it takes time. I'll wait. May came. The lockdown gradually lifted. People began to reappear on the streets, and restaurants started opening. The world was slowly breathing again. One Saturday afternoon, Tyler and Emma came to visit. Mike brought them. The children wore masks, but their eyes were smiling. Grandma! Emma ran and hugged me. A small, warm body. Tyler also approached carefully and held my hand. Grandma, your place is small. Yes, but it's enough. I baked cookies for the children. Chocolate chip cookies, a recipe I used to make often. While I mixed the batter in the kitchen, the children drew pictures in the living room. Mike came into the kitchen. Can I help? It's okay. Sit down. He sat at the table, placed his hands on his lap, and looked at me. Mom, I'm sorry. For what? For not taking your side that day. I just listened while washing dishes. I preheated the oven, set the temperature to 175 degrees, and checked the timer. You were caught in the middle. It wasn't easy. But I should have protected you. It's enough that you know now. I put the cookies in the oven and sat across from him. Through the window, the playground was visible. The tape on the swings had been removed. 2 children were on them. How is Jennifer doing? She's at her sister's house in New Jersey, looking for a job. What about the kids? They see her every weekend. Video calls, too. Emma doesn't seem to understand yet, but Tyler knows. Knows what? That Mom did something wrong. I nodded. Tyler's a smart boy. I'm worried he'll resent you. He might resent me, but he'll understand someday. The scent of cookies began to spread. A sweet, warm aroma. Emma ran into the kitchen. Grandma, are the cookies done? Just a little longer. Are you staying here forever? I stroked her hair. Yes, for now. Won't you come back to our house? Mike looked at me with a tense expression. I spoke slowly. Not yet, Emma, but I'll see you often. Promise? I promise. That evening, after the children and Mike left, I was alone. I did the dishes, wiped the table, and swept up cookie crumbs. The apartment was quiet again. Sitting by the window, I drank tea. Night was falling. Streetlights turned on one by one. I looked back on the past 2 months. Anger, betrayal, confrontation, and resolution. It was hard, but I had no regrets. Can I forgive Jennifer? Maybe someday. But not now. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's redrawing boundaries. The relationship with Mike will recover. Slowly, because wounds don't heal quickly. And the children, Tyler and Emma, I hope they learned that their grandmother isn't a weak person, that loving someone doesn't mean enduring everything. That dignity is something you fight to protect. I looked in the mirror. White hair, wrinkled face, a 72-year-old woman. But my eyes were different. Stronger than before. The world thinks the elderly are weak, beings to be protected, beings who become burdens. But no, we have strength too. Quiet but deep strength. Through the window, I saw a star, twinkling between the clouds. I thought, how many years do I have left? 10 years? 15? I don't know. But one thing is certain. For the time remaining, I'll live my way. Being respected, standing proud, and being an example to those I love. Dignity isn't given because of age, not because of money, not because of status. Just the way I treat myself, and the courage to fight willingly to protect that. That's all. Night deepened. I turned off the lights and went to bed. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'll go to church, take a walk, and read a book. An ordinary day, but my day. And that's enough. Through the window, I heard the sound of rain. Spring rain. A soft, warm sound. I closed my eyes. Winter had passed. Now spring was coming.